I'm currently living in a storage unit. My landlords decided not to renew my lease this year.
I think y'all are just jealous. I live out here, don't gotta spend money. I live in a tent and I'm making it work.
Do and go to sleep. So this is our living space.
I just got some terrible news, man. I just got kicked out the storage unit, man. This is crazy. I don't know where I'm gonna go now. They wanted living in the storage unit. I was able to get electricity so I could start cooking.
So there is a growing trend of people starting to live in storage facilities, storage units. It's going all over TikTok right now. It's a growing trend. We got to talk about it. All you Iraq war veterans out there, all you Iraq and Afghan war veterans out there, you already know. You already know. Let's talk about it. I've been thinking about this for years and I don't know why it's all of a sudden just catching on. Let's get into it.
I live in the storage unit because it's cheap in comparison to an apartment. Living here is actually really comfortable. I get a lot of things that I need and want to get done here. I can exercise. I can use the bathroom. I can play music anywhere in the unit. It's climate controlled in here, so it's nice and warm. This unit is 24 hours, so I can come here anytime I want, stay here as long as I need to. We can take naps if we need to and go to sleep. So this is our living space. Very, very grateful to have this space. The next goal is to get an RV. The next goal after that, tiny home. And if we want to eat, I just cook right out front. Or we'll just prepare something cold inside of the unit. Sandwiches, a lot of times we make salad. If we want to get power, we use our power bank. They also have power here so we can charge our power bank. Me and my baby will live here as long as we need to until we get the shelter that we want. Because we're living here, now we can save up more money to get what we really want. We're in it for the long haul.
There's many reasons why they will not let you do this. We got to talk about it. There's lots of reasons. My heart goes out for people that are in a tight spot having to make things do. And a storage unit reminds me a lot like my chew in Iraq. All you guys out there from Afghanistan and Iraq, y'all realize we lived in one of these. And we made them work. And in many ways, they were pretty awesome. It was nothing but a storage container or a shipping container with an air conditioning unit and a door. And we lived in those things like kings. I mean, some of us had TVs, some of us had all kinds of things. And if you were really, really, really high class, you had running water to these things. And I'm sitting here looking at these storage facilities and I'm like, you know what? Like, get these things, $100. I think now air conditioning ones are like $200. Other than plumbing, like you could totally do this. And I see so many people in tight spots with the cost of rent going up, the cost of housing, insurance, utilities, all is astronomical for somebody that's just starting out or in a tight spot, can't get, already did a video on Section 8, how impossible it is to get on Section 8 now, how impossible it is to get food stamps because the system, the fraud, the application process, it's not going to the right people. Go check those videos out. But here we are, storage facilities. And if you knew, as a real estate agent, as a real estate person, investor, the amount of old Kmart's, Walmart's, giant warehouses out there that they've converted to storage facilities that could allow somebody to sleep there if they were in hard times, but the politicians have made the building code against it. It is almost criminal that there is no options for just a place to lay your head at night. And if you go and sleep on the street, they're gonna arrest you, they're gonna hassle you, you might get mugged, you might get robbed. But you're like, wait a minute, you know, I can go and legally rent a storage facility and maybe I could just lay my head down there. Nope, get kicked out. And I've been watching these guys, they move into these facilities, they make it pretty nice. And then ultimately, you know, because they're sharing it on TikTok, they get kicked out. And don't think that people aren't getting away with this everywhere. Go echo into one of those places at night. I guarantee you'll find somebody sleeping there because things are so expensive and it's an option.
So although I'm homeless by choice, I feel completely safe where I live. In order to get into my residence, you have to have a code. And in order to get on any floor other than the first floor in the elevator, you also have to have a code. so I don't have to worry about anyone running up on me while I'm sleeping. Now, this is my routine at night before I go do Uber. Because the business hours are from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything locks down, including the elevator, I have to set myself up to where I can get back into the unit once I'm done working. So that's what you see me doing here. I go up to my unit, I put my things away, I come back down, I set up the door to where it does not lock, and also to where no one can notice that it's open. There are other people here. I don't want to jeopardize them. I'll prop the gate open so that I can walk through, and I park my car outside. So although I'm homeless by choice, I feel...
So if you're going to live in a storage unit, you're going to need to be as invisible as you possibly can be. You basically need to be a ghost. If anybody finds out you're here, that's when you start running into trouble. So first of all, I needed power for my unit. So what I did is I ran an extension cord along the power cable up here, and I sort of zip tied it up. So you can't really tell its power is going to my unit unless you are looking closely. So this is my unit here, and at the top of the unit you can see I have an antenna, and that's so I can get a cell signal inside the unit itself, because once you close the door it drops all signal. I have a lock which I've magnetized onto the door so it looks like it's locked even when it's not. And then when I actually do want to lock it, I can just use this lock or use another one down here and leave that one there. Alright, so let's take a look at the unit now. So in here I've got my TV, entertainment center set up there. I've got my bed. I've got my kitchen area over there, complete with a fridge, and my couch over here. Once you're inside here, you can close the door, and I've screwed on a latch here so that way you can close it and sort of lock it from the inside. I've also put a mirror up so you can see what you're doing. Up here I've got a toaster oven, and this toaster oven actually works pretty well. I'd say it works just as well as a conventional oven. I've got some dishes over here, got some more pots and pans over here, and my fridge is right here. Underneath I've got a filing cabinet, some tools, and some storage for some other stuff I have. Up on this part of the kitchen I have cutting board so I can make some lunch or dinner there. I have a hot plate for boiling water, cereal. Up here is the Tupperware, and then over here I've got a food cupboard for all my food. And this is the sink I've built, and the sink is basically like a 25-liter container filled with water, and I've attached these tubes here, so you just open it up, then the water comes down this tube and out there. So you've got running water, you can do dishes, get a drink, whatever, and then the water filters into this bucket, which goes down into these holes here, which goes into a funnel, which leads into a separate container here. And I usually find I have to empty that container and refill that one, usually once a week, maybe twice. So over here above the bed, I've built a bar, and this is just to hold all my liquor and drinks and everything. But I've also got stuff at the back there behind the bed. So what I've done is I've built this little hinge here. This comes out, and then the hinge drops down, and then that can hold in place while you go and get whatever you need to from back there. Over here I've built a clothing rack, and this works just like it would in any closet. Put your clothes there, except I've included this little latch here on this string so you can push the clothing further to the wall, giving you more space. Up here I've built some shelving for some items that I'm storing in here that I don't really use too much. I got my snowboard hanging from the ceiling there. And as you can see, all the stuff I've built in here is all built basically hanging from the ceiling. And the way I did that is I just got 2x4s, really long 2x4s, and put them all the way across the unit. And then I used...
Speaking of which, do you remember Hurricane Helene, the people in the mountains up in North Carolina and Asheville and all up there? When the Amish came in to build them little shed houses just so they can have a place to stay warm during the winter, and the county officials came in and shut it down, told them they couldn't live in it because it wasn't safe to live in. But the Amish came in and built these awesome things, mostly for free, just to give people a place to sleep. It was the politicians that kept people from having a place to sleep because they wanted you to pay taxes and buy their building permits. And did they speed up the building permit process? Nope. Go look in California right now. It's even worse with Malibu and all those big mansions trying to rebuild. Now they're holding them all up because of septic tanks and sewers and permits and EPA. It is wild. It's a shame that in the world we live in right now, you can't live out of your car. You can't even buy 10 acres, put an RV on it, and live there. The local municipality is not, well, at least here, where I live in the state of Florida, they will not let you just put an RV on your own property and live out of it. They're going to harass you and say, oh, well, you can't live there more than 6 months because, you know, it's on wheels. This all boils down to, one, taxes. This boils down to the building code. This is boiling down to politicians saying they're protecting you from yourself. Here's what they're going to say. That storage facility doesn't have an ability to open from the inside because the lock's on the outside. So we need to protect you so you don't get locked in there. So therefore you can't sleep there at all. So then they do these laws and regulations against the facilities to say you cannot allow anybody to sleep here. This is not for living quarters because we don't deem it safe. This should infuriate most people that are trying to do this. And people say, Jack, well, they should get a job. They should do that. I'm saying, like, if you need to sleep in your storage facility and you were down and out for a week or two, you should be able to do that. Why? Because maybe you don't need plumbing or running water for the 3 hours you're there or 5 hours you're there. You just want to take a nap and you got to get back to work. Why can't you do that in your storage facility? And they'll go, well, you know, it's not made for people to live there. There's no AC. Well, some of them are climatized. Check block number 1, oh, it's big enough for you to stretch your legs out in. Check block number 2, and I lived in something like this for a while. And I know it is possible, okay? My chew in Iraq had AC, I had a bed, I had a TV I dug out of the garbage can, and I had a little locker. Oh, and a coffee table I dug out of a garbage can. All you Iraq War veterans, y'all know that you scavenged when things got hard. You found stuff, and that's what these people are doing in good old America where you think you could do anything. You know, like, it really makes my heart go out for them because I know it's possible. And when I mentioned this the other day, everybody I knew looked at me like I was crazy. What do you mean live in a storage unit? It's like it's beneath them. Like, we have our standards so high in America that we don't realize in other parts of the world, this would be just fine. And if you have no other option, not a wealthy person, you're down and out, why can't you do this? No, the lawman says you can't. And they'll come after you. They'll even come for the storage facility for letting you do it.
I'm currently living in a storage unit. My landlords decided not to renew my lease this year, and the apartment that I applied for won't be open until October 1st. I have family here in town, but here I am, living in the storage unit. And the bad part is your access gets denied after 10 p.m., so if I am to leave right now, I wouldn't be able to get back in. Here's my setup. I got my bed right here. Don't come at me. I'm literally living in a storage unit, bro. And how I lock myself in here to ensure that no one comes in here is I use this rope and I put it under my TV stand. And that makes it to where this door can't open from the outside. I've also dummy locked it to where it looks like someone isn't in here and they've got their shit locked up. So when the employees walk by, they don't know I'm in here. Slowly getting back to my feet, you know. Come join the journey. Follow. I'm currently living in a storage unit. My landlords decided not to renew my lease this year, and
I've seen a lot of things in storage units in my days, but Here we have someone that laid flooring, put up a wall back into here, put up 3 more walls and a ceiling. This is where the bed used to be, it looks like. And they hung their TV right there. Put in their own outlets. It's crazy. I've seen a lot of things in storage units in my days, but
what y'all think? You got air mattress. I got it. I'm about to set it, see how it turned out. What y'all think? I don't know if the TV gonna be able to. Hey, look. See? So it's the epic chair with the mattress, y'all. So with the air mattress, so I'm gonna have to. I'm sweating in here, it's hot. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give me like a. I'm gonna have to order me like a little mat or something to sleep on the floor. What y'all think?
This is low-key crazy. So this dude is getting arrested for living out of this storage unit for 2+ years after his friend snitched on him. Just wait till you see this place. Now I feel he low-key has a solution to homelessness. And he's quite the decorator. We're going to get into all the little details here. But just the fact that he was living here for 2 years and nobody had any idea tells us that small units like this could be a solution. I mean, which would you rather have it? In small units like this, or you have them on the streets? Now, taking a deeper look, bro is low-key cooking. He's got a little microwave oven in there. I don't know what these are exactly, but it looks like something that you can use for working out. Don't know why he's got so many of them, though. And he doesn't have a laundry unit, so obviously his dirty clothes are gonna pile up. He's got a little speaker system and a gaming chair. I wonder if he's got a PS5 in there somewhere. But what do you guys think? Should they have arrested him, or should they have just kicked him out? Personally, I'd rather have him living out of here than right on the street.
Storage unit. I used to work at a storage facility, being that student loans are going to have to probably be repaid soon, and a 50-50 if you get that waiver of $10,000 to $20,000, your living situation may change drastically. That is why I am doing this. Step 1, be a ghost. Don't be seen by employees or tenants, or be seen as little as possible. Go in before or after the employee gets there, outside of normal business hours, so they don't see you. If you are there during normal business hours, don't be seen. Make it look like you're not there. If you're in hot or cold climate, you're going to want to be temperature controlled. Temperature controlled units typically stay between 55 and 80 degrees. Meaning that you can stay there throughout the winter and summer and not die, which is very, very good. Don't get an outside unit if you're in a crappy climate. Step 3, electricity. Find a unit that has electricity. Some do, some don't. Get a leak cord, essentially. But the thing is, you can't be seen with the leak cord. If someone sees a leak cord sticking out of your unit, you're going to get kicked out pretty quick, whether it's by a tenant or whether it's by the employee actually seeing that plugged into something. Not a good idea. Solar-powered generators or solar-powered anything for your phone, hot plate, water, whatever. Bathroom situation, you're going to have to go to a public bathroom. There's no getting around that. If you're lucky and there's land, you may actually be able to bury it, which isn't a terrible idea. Get a shovel. Don't keep it in your unit. If there's a dirty, disgusting smell, you'll get reported. You'll get kicked out. You don't want that to happen. What else? Oh, lock-wise. Make it look like your unit is always locked, even if it's not. So at night, if you're sleeping in it and it's closed, keep it in the open position, but put the lock on it to make it look like it's locked. Maybe put something on it to make it so nobody can actually open that door at night, because I have had that happen before, where a tenant was sleeping in a unit, somebody came in, they thought it was unlocked, they went to open it, and they saw them sleeping in it, had to kick them out, unfortunately, nothing you can do about it. Time-wise, when you go in for the night to go to sleep, and after about an hour of you going in for the night, put in the code to exit, so it looks like you left, but don't actually leave. And then in the morning, if you don't have a car and you're walking in and out of it, just sneak out behind a car. Wait till you see a car come, sneak out behind it. That way you're not putting in the code again, and it doesn't trigger the employee to look into that. Some do, some don't. Depends how vigilant that particular employee is. Overall, try not to be seen as much as you can. Temperature control is your best bet. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I know this is one of my longer videos, but financial situations change, things happen. Good information to have. Living in a storage unit. I used to work at a...
Can you live in a storage unit? Both state and federal law prohibit anyone from living in a storage unit. In fact, the contract you sign when you get the unit expressly forbids you from doing so. The lack of plumbing, sunlight, heating and air conditioning, and other building code violations are just some of the reasons why it's too dangerous. If you're caught breaking the law or breaching your contract, you may be kicked out or even fined. Do you know anyone who's ever tried to live in a storage unit? Can you live in a storage unit?
What I found in this storage unit that this tenant just vacated from. Just so you understand, we don't have outlets like this in any of the storage units. I thought it was wired in just the light up above, but then it kept on going. So I climbed up the ladder to figure out where it kept on going to. Just a warning right now, if you're scared of heights, this may not be a video that you want to watch. So the wire kept running up across multiple storage units and then down the wall and then through another wall. So I climbed down the ladder and found the wall where the wire came out of. And this is where it led to, right into my main electrical panel. I pulled off the electrical panel. I had already shut off the power and it was time to get this thing disconnected. I backed up to pull the electrical through the wall and realized it's connected to a little box down there. And that box is inside a rented unit that I can't really get inside of right now. I was at least able to get the outlet disconnected from electricity. The tenant had moved into the unit before I had owned the storage facility, so I don't know if he did this himself or if he got it connected with the ownership. It seems like in this situation, doing this with the owner was more likely, but who knows? And since that unit that the wire is through the wall...
One, in most municipalities, if it's under 450 square feet, they will not deem it a livable space. I know many of sheds that you can buy from Home Depot that you throw an AC unit in, insulate it a little bit, put a bed in it, maybe a little sink, and you could live there if you were actually had to. And they would tell you can't do that because it's not deemed a livable space. Because some guy with a pencil and a clean shirt that lives in a gated community says you can't do that. These are the things that frustrate me about the way we live. I watched here where I'm at. They came out and said, we're making affordable housing for people and we're going to build a tiny home project. And they spent a couple $1,000,000 to put 10 tiny houses out there. Let me tell you, in Iraq, they used to take these 20-foot, 40-foot shipping containers, drop them, stack them, lock them as far as you can see. And they would put an AC unit in the side of it and bunk beds or whatever. And there was massive cities of these storage containers that people were living in, and they were living in just fine. They just put a little bathhouse at the end of the road. You had a gym there, a dining facility just down the street, and we lived like kings, okay? I mean, granted, not like kings, but we were fine, okay? We would decorate them up. We would find stuff to make them work. We'd go to the PX, get some cool sheets. Like the soldiers would even find them a bike in the dumpster or from the PX or order one. They had these little bike gangs running around. Like the ingenuity of making things work. And people say, oh, well, that's just not livable. No, you can make it happen. The first part of the Iraq War, they did it in tents, okay? Massive tent cities. But yet, the local municipalities will not let you buy 20 acres and stick 100 tiny homes on it. Because they're going to say, oh, well, we can't have more than 3 houses to an acre because that's the way it's zoned. Trust me, you can do these things. The politicians won't let you. And then they won't let you get on the media and talk about it. In Afghanistan and Iraq and many of the North Africa, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, they did this because they didn't have a building department and politicians on their back. The army just walked in and said, we need places for people to sleep, for them to work while they're over here. Boom, did it. There was an old bombed out building right next to where I worked in Iraq. And my gun truck platoon made it their house, okay? And they would rather live in that old bombed out house, that bombed out building, whatever you want to call it, than live in these shoes or live in the tents. They were happy. It was wild.
They wanted living in the storage unit. I was able to get electricity so I could start cooking. Tonight I'm going to finally be able to stretch out while I'm sleeping. It's actually better than sleeping in the car.
It hurts me to watch this. I tell you, my platoon sergeant in Iraq had a chew that wasn't much bigger than this. And man, it looked like a palace. He had a microwave he found out of the garbage can, still worked from the previous unit that was there. He had a TV he got out of the garbage can. He had him a broom. He had him a rug he got from the PX. He found him some sheets where he made the walls all cool. He had him a bedspread. He had him a shelf with all of his extras from his MREs. He even had him a refrigerator he found. Let me tell you, when you first get to, all you old timers out there, when you first get to a combat zone or a deployment, first thing you do is go shopping. That's what they called it. Get in the truck, or you get in however you move around the fob, your gun truck, whatever, and you go looking for stuff in dumpsters and on the side of the road, things that the Air Force left or civilians left or even the Iraqis were getting rid of. And you made it work. Half the time we would start working on it, and some of us were electricians, had a little idea of how to do stuff. You had some E3 down there, knew how to weld, and you could make some awesome stuff, and you made it work, okay? And that's why, like, so many soldiers are so resourceful in the civilian world, is we got put in bad situations, we made it work. So when I see this stuff, I'm like, man, you can do it. Look, in Tokyo, in Japan, some of these airports in Southeast Asia and Asia, like, you can rent a pod for the night, okay? This is going to infuriate Americans. You can rent a pod for like $20 while you're stuck in the airport. It's a place to sleep. It's literally like being in a tuna can. And you can sleep there for the night. And it's got a place for you to charge your cell phone. And there's a little shower right down the way. And you sleep in there for $20, take you a shower, go back out, get on your plane, done. Like, the way Americans live is mind-boggling. In New York right now, there are places where you can rent an apartment for 90 square feet. Okay, like 100 square feet. It is happening all over the world. Now, I'm not saying this is right. America has lost its mind on the cost of housing, but they will not let you do things that is cheap. That's how America works. They want to keep raising insurance, keep raising property values, want to keep raising all these things. And inflation out of its mind. And then they won't let you live cheaply. Like, they'll arrest you for trying to live like this. Isn't that wild?
I think y'all are just jealous. I live out here, don't gotta spend money. I live in a tent and I'm making it work. Y'all are just jealous because y'all out here pushing a 9 to 5 and I'm out here living like I'm supposed to be living. Y'all are just jealous. Me and my girl out here making it work. We making it work big time, dog. Big time. You don't need to live big and large. We make it work. We out here got the air fryer. We gotta plug it up into the Walmart next door. We out here making it work.
Oh, I just got some terrible news, man. I just got kicked out the storage unit, man. This is crazy. I don't know where I'm gonna go now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't want to go back to I don't want to go back to the house or none of that. I don't want to do none of that, man. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm seriously, like, I just got off work and then come to the house and to go chill in the storage and all this now.
We needed for you to come to the office regarding the issue that we had with your unit. We've gotten complaints and other notifications that you've been living in the unit. Unfortunately, your lease has been terminated.
And all this, I'm at the gas station just chilling, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I need help, man. I don't know if I'm gonna just
He has an interesting story. He's been doing it on TikTok. I guess him and his wife are having problems. She's like a hoarder and like won't get out of bed or something. I just kind of browsed through it, and he decided to live in a storage facility instead of going home. Terrible, wild situation. Go check it out if it's true. I mean, some of these TikTokers, you can't tell if they're faking it or they're real. But some of these stories are just amazing. Now, let me tell you, if I was going to do this, okay, hey, old Iraq War veteran here, if I was going to do this, because I spent many a night sleeping in my own office in the Army where, like, you do 24-hour duty, you don't want to drive home, just sleep in your office. So we'd have these blow-up mattresses where you could blow it up, sleep 3, 4, 5 hours, pull the plug on it, roll it back up. Nobody even knew you went to sleep, okay? And that's the way I would do this. I'd have me a hammock or a bedroll or an air mattress that I could blow up with no noise, okay? Because you probably can't have an air mattress blowing up. Everybody would know. And then I would change my sleep schedule. What I would do is I would sleep during the day, and then I would go out and work at night, because what they're going to do is catch you sleeping in there at night, and then they're going to know you're sleeping in there at night. If you're in there during the day, it looks like you're just out there. You know, a lot of people are working out of storage facilities. They're using them as something for their business. People are coming and going. So your car would look normal being there, or your bicycle or whatever. And I think that's how I do it. So I would like figure out a way for a hammock, hook up a hammock, go to sleep, roll back out, shower at the gym, go to work. And then if they inspected my facility, they're like, hey, I need you to go open this up. We think you're living there. I'd open it up, and there would be nothing there but junk, okay? There would be no bed. There'd be no housing, whatever. It would just be cruising in and out, okay? And the way people get caught is they have stuff that makes them look like they're living there. Heaven forbid they can't live there. And I get it.
All right, by live out of, I mean I have built this so that I can come and go super easily. So it's super cramped in here. Follow along. Okay, we are in an 8x10 storage unit. I found a special where I could pay $55 a month. He ended up giving me a 4-month deal on that. And then it'll move to about $110 a month. This is what I've built out of it. My dresser is back here. You can see, like, I can totally get in it, get all my clothes, everything. This is my closet. I actually have a full-length mirror, and I have enough space in here to get dressed. My shoes are in there, more storage in there. I've been able to set this up a little bit like a living room. I've more storage stuff, some water, blanket.
You'd have these problems of waste and, you know, garbage, and then bathrooms and stuff like that. But, you know, there's just no real option for people other than a homeless shelter to go to. Like, not everybody needs a homeless shelter. They just need a week or a few nights, and they don't want to go through the rigmarole and the embarrassment of going to a homeless shelter. They're like, you know what? Like, I can just crash here for a month. I'll be fine. I don't need the government to intervene with things I need. I don't need the government. Like, the government shouldn't be shouldn't be the saving grace to everybody, but they want it that way. So everybody looks to the government when they're down and out. And that's the problem with the Section 8 food stamps. It's like, oh, I'm hurt. Government, save me. And then they never get off of it. That's what it's made for. It's made to hold you complacent, where you never go against the man, because it might get cut off. And then the man's the one that did it to you. The man made it where you can't sleep in a storage facility. The man made it where you can't go and sleep in an RV on the 10 acres you own, or the 20 acres you own, or the 100 acres you own, because the government, man, wants you to pay property tax. He wants you to take it off wheels so it can't go anywhere. So you have to pay property tax. So it abides by their building code, because you know what? It's supposed to save you. It's supposed to protect you. The permit department's here to protect you from yourself. The permit department, no, you can't build anything on your own property because, you know, the government needs to make sure it's safe for you. This is why veterans have a real hard time with the government. Okay, is we don't trust the government anymore because we see it when we come back, how crazy it all is.
I was able to get electricity so I could start cooking. Tonight I'm gonna finally be able to stretch out while I'm sleeping. It's actually better than sleeping in the car. I'm just trying to be grateful because I know there's somebody that would trade positions with me.
But that's all I got, everybody. I just thought this was very interesting. Should you be able to live out of something unorthodox, something that whether you or the owner or you deem okay and you're willing to take the risk, should you have the ability to make it a place to sleep? Whether it has plumbing or not, maybe you don't need it. Should you be able to do whatever you want to on your own property? You want to have an RV on your own property? Maybe you should be able to do that. Instead, we have these people called code enforcement that says you can't do that and you get fined, and they put it onto the property at an interest accruing rate and just penalize people for doing things that the politician doesn't like. But this is where we're at in America, where everything just keeps going up, 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 up. So here we are. Nobody has a place to sleep. Tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Argue with me. Am I right? Am I wrong? If you're in this situation, comment down below. Read down below. Maybe somebody has been in your situation and they're giving you some advice in the comments. Be nice to everybody. Let's have some discourse. Argue back and forth on how to fix this. How do we fix this homelessness and fix the not having a place to sleep in today's America? And let's get to the next video. This one was interesting. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you happen to be buying real estate on the Gulf Coast of Florida or Alabama, my email's down below. I'll be happy to help you. And if I can't, I'll find somebody that can. Be happy to recommend you an agent. I'll see you guys later.